What's up, everybody? Here's Jonathan. I'm currently here in Mannheim at the Guitar Summit 2025, and I'm standing here next to one of the only greatest, Misha Mansoor. Thank you for taking the time.
Thanks for having me.
A little interview, and
no problem.
I don't have to introduce you. So, showed me the first song I actually heard from you guys is Marigold.
Oh, very cool.
And it's on the third album, and
yeah.
And I heard the sound, and I was stunned by the astonishing guitar sound and the riffs. So how do you write your riffs, and how do you orchestrate the sound of so many drop guitars?
That's a good question. You know, it's a lot of experimentation.
Yeah.
And I've always been writing and recording for fun, so that's a big part. So the more you do it, the more you figure out what works and what doesn't. It can be a challenge with like the lower tunings and figuring out tones that works well for that. Like it is kind of its own sort of subgenre or niche, and you need to figure out tricks like boosting an amp, you know, things like that, like go a long way, right? That helps, and then that'll help clean up the sound a little bit. But for writing stuff, you know, it's so funny. Like when I was writing Marigold, I didn't think it was. We thought it was a cool song. I didn't think it was anything particularly special, and that's one that like I mostly wrote. It's just like kind of like a neoclassical exercise song.
Yeah,
it almost sounds like an exercise riff, but it was cool. It had some charisma to it. So like,
yeah, for sure.
Like I was always like happy with the song, but I didn't expect it to be like one of our most popular songs. And it's one of those songs that like we almost have to play at every show now.
It's like
because people expect it.
You think, oh, it's stiff, and it's an absolute smash.
I have a very bad sense of what's going to work. So sometimes I think a song will work, and it does not. And sometimes I'm like, it's whatever, and people love it. So
it's the same like with Lukather in Africa. He said like, it's stiff, and it's one of the biggest hits ever, and so
I'll write them, and people will decide if they like them or not.
If they like it or not. And I remember a funny story. You played support for Dream Theater.
Yep.
Some years ago, and you played most of the time some modeling amps and some computer stuff, and something didn't really quite work, and Petrucci came in your dressing room, and
it's so funny that people know this story.
Know the story because it was one of the first interviews I saw from Mark and you.
Yeah, well, you know,
would you like to tell? So it's not embarrassing. I think it's a quite funny story.
No, it is. Well, it's a frustrating story because we had a problem with our computer. So it was the first tour that we ever did where we used the fractal Axe-Fx, and we had the computer doing all the switching for us. So no pedal boards, right?
Yeah.
And it was working well, except it didn't. It would all of a sudden it would stutter and glitch. We'd lose the click, we'd lose everything, and then it would come back, but we'd be off. And so we had a monitor guy. He would kill the click, and we'd play, but then our patches would all be wrong. It was very frustrating, and it would happen at a random time every show. We kept looking like, what is wrong? It was a brand new MacBook Pro. We were not running anything crazy. We were just running audio and MIDI, so nothing intense. And I was like, looking in what were the problems with the audio. We never solved it on that tour, and we solved the problem by switching to like my laptop. We're like, okay, we'll just use my laptop. Yeah. Problem solved. After the tour, we found out that there was a weird batch of MacBook Pros that had a graphical problem. So it was a graphics card problem, which if you can imagine, it would just overheat and just cause a problem. It was kind of bad luck. But yeah, we had to get that. So we probably could have gotten that sorted a little earlier, but we kept thinking we were solving it, and then there was the problem again, you know.
But I saw you a couple of times now, and it's an amazing live sound. And I think really you should see those guys live, and especially
now we don't have the problem anymore.
Yeah, you play some Peavey stuff. I think we can go over now to the cool stuff.
Let's go look at it.
And would you like to take us through the process to create such a beautiful amp and a few specs?
Yeah, so I mean, like it's based off of the 6505 architecture, which is one that I think sounds great. It works very, very well. But I wanted to modernize it because I think that's an old design, and there was a lot of features I wish it had. So for one, it's got a great clean channel. Like, I really wish that the 6505 had a clean channel. It doesn't. This clean channel is so good that you could use it like as its own amp. Yeah. It's actually based off a pedal steel amp design that was supposed to come out as its own clean amp and never came out. So it's legitimately a great clean.
Yeah.
I wanted to have a built-in boost, so both the clean and the gain channels have a boost. This is a Tube Screamer style one. This one's more for like just like a push gain sound. It's got a built-in noise gate. It's got 2 serial effects loops that are in series with one another. So you
Great,
can feed
yeah.
1 into 2. There's MIDI on the amp. You could switch everything, create presets. There's power for pedals on the back. It's just kind of
Great.
like everything. Oh, and also I've got master volume.
You think of everything.
Well, it was just all the stuff I wanted.
Great gate. So Peavey approached you and said like, hey, Misha.
We kind of started talking to each other.
Talking to each other.
It happened somewhat organically, let's say.
And it's like almost like family with the company and.
Yeah, just kind of starting a conversation, seeing if it made sense.
Yeah.
And then we're both kind of saying a lot of the same things. It's like, all right, let's try it out and see what happens.
I think you came up with a really, really great product. And,
Thanks, man. I really do love this amp. It's a great amp. I used it a lot to record. You know, we've reamped with it a lot. It's the main thing about it, and like this really happened from like the 6505 architecture. It just sits in the mix. There's something about the way the upper mids on this sit in the mix perfectly.
Yeah.
And with a lot of amps, like you try them in the room and they're great. Then you have them on the recording and there's a lot of work. It's a lot of work to get it to sit.
To equalize all
and and it doesn't really translate once you double track it and you have it in the mix and it's fighting against drums and bass and vocals. And this just works. It works very, very well in the mix.
In the mix. Yeah, that would be my next question. Why we choose Peavey with the sound, but you answered already.
Yeah, because they have the architecture that kind of work.
Yeah, and you got the elephant stomps, the chung chung
Yeah.
stuff in the drop tuning. And
well, because the other thing is like that architecture has a lot of saturation, which I really like.
Yeah,
and that's very important. But it's controllable saturation, so like
you got a clear overdrive. It's really transparent, and not too muddy.
Yeah, exactly. It's not a muddy amp at all, but it has the low end. It's a difficult balance to strike.
Yeah.
Amps are a bit of a dark art, so it's like you kind of start from a good starting point and tweak from there, as opposed to like trying to reinvent the wheel.
Yeah. And you use it a lot with pedals, or you use some effect stuff from Pro Tools or whatever?
Use a little bit of everything, man.
Yeah, a little bit of everything.
Whatever works.
Whatever works. So experience is the key. So you don't have to share so many secrets. So
it's not a secret. It's genuinely not a secret. It's just every situation requires something different. Sometimes it's pedals. Sometimes you do it in the box.
Yeah.
I try not to worry too much about it. Just whatever is inspiring in the moment.
Yeah. And for live, you use only 1 or 2 heads for stereo sound because there's
live we're using Axe Effects.
Axe Effects.
Yep.
Live using Axe Effects.
Fractal Axe Effects.
So, but you play in a profile of your Peavey or?
I use they don't have the invective, so I use a 6505, which is the next best thing.
Next best thing.
Yeah.
All right, I would thank you so much for the interviews.
Yeah, no problem, man. I appreciate it.
You have a lot to do now, and see you on stage. And,
we'll see you guys soon.
So thank you so much,
Thanks,
and thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned.
We'll see you guys soon.
Bye.